Hi, my name is Shannon J. Curtis, the author of Finding You Mental Wellness Explored. Many people ask about balance, if it's possible to maintain balance. Of course, balance is possible, but like a car, when you're driving, the car doesn't remain balanced for a very long time, and so you will need to adjust as you go along. So it is in life. All of us has to maneuver and restabilize and make adjustments as we go along the way. It is part of the coping in life's event. Now, Mirrors of Health and Wealth is formulated for you to obtain balance. Let me just introduce a bit about myself. I've been working in the NHS for more than 15 years. Uh, for the last 7 years, I've been in psychology, CAMS, uh, perinatal, and psychiatry. So I've been through the cycle from baby stage to adult stage. Also, my prior years were in finance. Uh, Let me say that all my programs are based on perfection state, which I call mirrors of health and wealth. This is because health can only be achieved by knowing what health is. Otherwise, it will be a forever long chain of events trying to figure out results or solutions from illnesses that various people have and grouping them in groups. So, finding the true or original health makes more sense, and it narrows the number of research that is required to maintain health. It means also that the individual can take ownership of themselves if they have the knowledge and what it is that they need to take measures of, then one can take their own initiative and make the adjustments for their lives. So, the key to this program is to bring empowerment back into the individual's hand so that that person can be proactive, can participate in the results that they are experiencing in their own life. It also means that it free more of the professionals' time to focus on more people because individuals are enabled to cope while they wait on treatment, while they are at home, and they can more sustain their lives for longer periods of time. So that is the aim of this program, Mirrors of Health, and it allows the individual to have that perfection state mirror to reflect upon as their roadmap. So it takes really the guess game out of it, and it simplifies, condense the material, condense the understanding, and so the simple man can also understand what to do. I've also discovered that uh, that the individual, if you have found that balance for your life, then you're more enabled to do business, and a business mirrors the individual. So you can see how the same concept can be applied, whereas the individual in his imaginary perfection state reflect back into a business, and so that business is also in a similar state as the individual. And so as the individual grows into greater self and acquire knowledge and experience and is strengthened by body, mind, and spirit, so does the business that that person supports. Mirrors of Health and Wealth, while it deals with methodologies and systems of mapping the perfection state, it also provides uh, life management skills to enable you to function more ably, meaning that these life management skills are used as the propellers, the foundation, the grounders for your life, so that you are pretty much in the middle. So, with foundation like the house, it is more sturdy, and you have the tools that you need to fix it, to ensure that there's strength, there's grounding, um, support, so that, for example, a person is experiencing anxiety and overwhelm, stress, that person can use different tools to ensure that that reduces the overwhelm, that reduces the anxiety. For instance, if you are experiencing many things happening, many things happening, or to address anxiety, waking up in the morning, one can head straight to the bathroom and start to brush one's teeth. It gives you the false impression that you're already addressing the matter of getting ready. By getting out of bed, you've already taken action to get out of bed to meet the new day. Again, this gives the mind false impression that you're ready to meet the new day. But if you stay and lie in bed, it gives you the impression that you've got so much things to do and so many other things that will embark upon the mind. So it's paramount that one take action with one thing as the guiding or the spark to win towards all other things that one has to do. So these are some of the principles. There are other more structured ways as well. It sounds very simple, but I will assure you that one action can make a lot of difference. If a receptionist is having a busy moment, the phone is ringing, the bell for the gate is ringing, there is someone at the window, and there's also another person calling them. What that person can do, pick up the phone, and as a result of picking up the phone and say hi, just starting that first action, regardless of all the other activities that is calling for their aid, it just answering the phone has already given the mind the false impression that the person has got this under control. And so all the other things start to fall in place. But you can see, without taking action on any of the activities that are coming towards that person, they will start to feel overwhelmed. They will start to feel stressed. They will start to feel they can't do it. And perhaps being frantic as well. But by just taking one thing without prioritizing and say this first, this second, just picking up the phone or just answering the bell will make such a large difference. So these are the skills that that we highlight. The planning. I found planning makes such a difference, and for those who are leaders and they're very organized, I'm sure that's not um, a challenge for them. But people who fall in other spectrums, they may find being organized a more challenging game. So these are the subject matters we talk about. Mirrors of Health deals with one's personality. It deals with balance, how you balance your energy for the day. And this is important because as we sleep, we gain the energy, and when we wake up, we need to apply ourselves. How we apply ourselves One could call that setting goals. But the thing with goals, if you set goals for all areas of your life, you can see how overwhelming that could be. And not knowing what areas to set your goals is another challenge. And so you could spend ages even writing goals in areas that you don't need to, or that you've already very active in. So it's important that you know what areas you need to prioritize in terms of setting goals, and depending on your situation, if you are struggling to cope, then you may need to reduce your activities. If you fall out of cope and you're in a recovery state, then these activities may be too much for you. So it's assessing where you are, which I've got as statistics that determine where you sit, so that you can take the right action to increase your balance, increase your benefits, and reduce any overwhelm or confusion you may have. The other part of this program deals with your, I call it your TP, which is your top priority, or being a top person. This is in short for True Plan. And in True Plan, this is about looking after your body. So you already see we're dealing with your personality, then you organize in your mind, and now your body. All the areas of your body that you need to pay attention to, and looking after the areas that are in neglect more so than anything. So we don't focus so much on all of your needs, as everyone is an individual, you're unique, and so the lacks would be different. What you prioritize will be different. What is functioning very well and enabling will be very different from the other person. And so you've got to participate to determine what areas of focus you need. Next, we have the mastery. Mastery is so important. Mastery covers a person at every stage of their lives, and how to develop that is very important. The other part is your core values. If you are an individual and your core values are not clear, then you can see how weak your choices in life would be. One has to know their core values so that they can make greater decisions for their life, and for your business. Next, we will look on your motivation. A lot of people feel that they're alone and they have no help, and they're isolated, and they're not progressing, and so many issues when it comes to motivation. But I want to tell you that you're never alone. None of us are alone. The tea bag, or the sheet that you have cover your own garment, your hair care, your bath gel, everything that you're using, most things, if you don't make it yourselves, and even when you make the item yourself, there are byproducts. Um, there are bits of the product that you will need to go to buy from elsewhere. And these are sourced from all over the world. So we're all contributing to each other in so many different ways. So motivation has a lot to do with how you identify yourself with your environment. And we will look into that, and we will see the process of life, and how you connect with the world that you exist in, so that you can be better focus so that you can better feel a sense of belonging, and you can be motivated and feel resilience in all aspect of your life. And of course, not forgetting emotions and behaviors, learning how the emotions and behaviors impact our lives, how to identify them, how to select the right people for your business, or to select the right people as your friends, and even in relationships. Because when you know where the person sits or what their characters are, being able to identify them as they sit in various different ranks, and how to even communicate with that individual will make a lot of difference based on your ability to identify where they are in their life or for that present moment. And looking also on communication. So that's a whole circle of 8 programs where we look finally to complete the circle is communication. Looking on communication from a different angle. Usually, we look on communication based on your tone, your body language, your ability to speak very well, eloquently, and so on. But this method is more of a connective method, the stem of communication, and not forgetting that communication has brought us to existence. The sperm traveled very far to communicate with the egg so that um, we can now be given birth and exist in earth, and everything communicates with each other. And then you also have the boundaries of the communication where um, the different cells, the different elements, the different atoms communicate in a very defined way so that they can become what they're meant to be. So here you go. And finally, the financial aspect. I couldn't leave that one out. I think I mentioned earlier anyway about the statistics. Um, with statistics, you can also prepare your strategic plans, not only for your business but for your life. So when you identify where you sit in the stats, there is 6 areas in the stats, and being able to identify where you sit, there is also recommendations um, for every statistics that is identified, and from there you prepare your strategic plan to deal with the matter so you can increase in your capability. So this is not only a function for the business but for the life, the person. If you're learning to getting learning doing a weight loss regime, you will need to see or assess where you are in your your health situation, your weight situation, and if you're overweight or underweight, it would be a different remedy for you. So it's knowing where you are and your uh, how healthy or unhealthy you are, and from there you can determine which stats to apply with the appropriate remedy. And that is how this program enabled you. I did not mention the the other part of it, which is the financial. One must set financial plan, as all lives and businesses are stand tall or stand firmer as a result of finances. So at the foot of the mirror is your financial stability, and you've got to know your figures so that you can better enable yourself in the approach of work, business, assessing what what funds you need to run your life, and what plans you need to put in place and how to maintain it. So this program is very sustaining. I've got a sustainable structure for business. So if you want to expand, or you're not in the business and you're hiring someone, you will know exactly what roles need to be played, and what needs to be done, whether it be one person or the full number of people. But all the roles must be done so that the business can be successful and there's no guess game. So I hope you love it like I do. A very comprehensive program, as I said, and it's to balance the individual as well as the business. The stats are used for various purposes. It can assess so many